Hey, welcome back to our show From Logo to Impact. Now look at the power of a single tweet. At the time of the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, when there was a power outage, the people at Oreo cookies were standing by for a situation to happen, and the situation did. There is this outage that happens, and a single tweet goes out that says you can dunk in the dark. And then it was phenomenal, the kind of retweets that happened, and the rest is history. It's all about capturing the moment, as it were. To tell us about the strategy in India for Oreo cookies with the new campaign that they have launched is Chella Pandyan. He is Associate Director for Biscuits at Mondelez India. It's great to have you with us, Chella. So you are making that transition, as I understand it, from the earlier campaign, which is your twist, lick and dunk. And now you're going into play with Oreo. So what's the thought process right now? Because the last couple of years has been a little tough ride, hasn't it, for your space?
Absolutely. Thank you. See, if you look at our Twist Lick Dunk campaign, really at the heart of the Twist Lick Dunk campaign is the acknowledgement of the child within each one of us, right? It's just an encouragement to really let that child in you come out. Play with Oreo is a little bit more explicit version of that same thought.
Right.
Twist Lick Dunk will continue to be part of our brand's DNA.
Sure.
Play with Oreo is just another expression of that.
But the market hasn't really been growing from what we understand. It's remained pretty flattish right now. And to that extent, it is a bit of a struggle, you'd agree?
Absolutely. The last few quarters on biscuits have been challenging, but our plans are very much in play, and we've been happy with the progress we've been making on our brands. And with the expected upturn in the economy, we should be seeing some good times ahead for Oreo.
So within your plans, you've roped in 2 stars, and you have a different strategy in India, at least when it comes to getting brand ambassadors. Tell us how in India you've got these 2 brand ambassadors on board. What's the idea there?
Really, if you look back at Oreo, initially when we started our communication here in India, it did really well for us. It really built the brand from scratch into something of great reckoning. But one of the challenges we faced in India was we started being seen primarily as a brand for kids.
Right.
Globally, Oreo is a brand that everybody can consume and everybody believes it's for them. So that's the perception really we wanted to address. And the strategy to bring in Ranbir here in the north and Karthi in the south was precisely to help us in just universalizing the imagery of our brand.
For the longest time, milk and cookies was still a Western concept. To that extent, when you talk about kids, etc., at one level, it is about the general notion that this is not something you live with chai and biscuits, but you don't do cookies and milk so much in your growing up years.
Yes.
And then at one level, you're saying you need to expand the market beyond children. So to that, it is a bit of a double whammy. It's that much more difficult.
Absolutely. Firstly, it was a very different look at biscuits in India. Number one. Number two is mums absolutely love the fact that we encourage the consumption of milk along with our cookies.
Right.
So we already are in a great place there. Of course, like all behavior, it takes some time, but we do believe that we are making some great progress there.
Right. So what's your media mix looking like right now? When you talk about this new campaign, what's the approach and how different is it from your earlier campaign?
When you look at our media plan today, especially for Play with Oreo, we are going to do something called a doodle contest on ground, and we are roping in graffiti artists across the big cities in India, and they're going to be really expressing themselves through the Oreo lens on Play with Oreo. So it's just a 360 campaign that is just designed to inspire and really unleash the spirit of play.
Right. But you need that one differentiator when it comes to approach. Do you think that idea lies in digital marketing, because so much is pegged over there and has worked out so beautifully for you,
yes,
at least in that one instance that I started out this conversation with.
Yes.
You think that's where the game is?
Clearly, it's, I would say if not the most important, one of the most important parts of our media plan. Mm-hmm. Apart from social media, we are now really looking at user-generated content for Play with Oreo.
Right.
Globally, we have seen that when there's an idea which helps people express their thoughts, it just catches fire. And really, we will be encouraging in a very strong manner for people to really express and share with their friends and colleagues.
I see. And what about tying up with more QSRs going ahead, your quick service restaurants? Yeah. Is that also a game for you?
Absolutely. So we are already part of leading QSR brands in India. And our effort always is to be selective about it. Of course, there are a lot more queries than what we actually sign up for, because we just want to make sure that our brand is in the right environment. But that's going to be a fundamental plank of our strategy.
Right. So in that sense, the perception game, being able to alter it over a period of time, to be able to kind of peg it in a different realm, is that something that you're trying to do?
Over the last 3 years, if you see, our strategy has really been on these three fundamental pillars. And we know, given the fact that Oreo is the #1 biscuit brand in the world, we've only begun out here. And you will be seeing us being very active across all these pillars.
Right. So how are you going to engage better with your end consumer now, looking ahead, as far as kids are concerned, or their mothers are concerned, perhaps, because technology is changing so many things around us. So in that sense, the possibilities are huge out there.
Yes, absolutely. Our core story is really unleash the child in you. The mediums keep changing. Fundamentally, we are about television, we are about digital. Today, you'll be surprised with the number of moms who are actively there on digital. Okay, digital continues to be a huge area of focus, and we are absolutely delighted with the feedback and just the participation that we see from mothers on the digital platform.
Right. Do they have a lot of concerns about health when they are consuming things out of a packet?
We all like a treat sometime in our lives.
So this is about having a treat.
It's a treat.
Well, we wish you good luck, Chella. Many thanks for joining us on this leg of the show. All right, with that, it's time to wrap up this edition of our show From Logo to Impact. We'll see you same time next week. Thank you, Neet, for joining us. Goodbye.